Neal, I'm going to have you help us out before we dive into some of the great subjects you have here, because I want you to kind of give your opinion on the comments we made. Those who stayed online or are still listening to us from our first show, we were talking about this opportunity. We feel still one of the best opportunities to in the real estate market we've seen probably in 30 years due to the low interest rates and still low prices. But we feel that that window will be slowly closing over time. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think it already is clearly closing, especially in the let's just say the under 450 price range. It really doesn't matter where in town you go. We don't have a lot of inventory. There are multiple offers on every property that comes up in that price range, and prices are rising dramatically in some areas. And so you take the great combination we had 18 months ago of these really, really good interest rates, which are even better today, and combine that with some choices, and that's why you had so many investors. I mean, the investors aren't stupid. You know, they understand real estate. That's why they buy it. And, you know, they're still out there, but there's less and less for them to choose from. And so this window that was so great 2 years ago, and I think we even talked about it, it was hard for a lot of people to understand it, maybe to accept it, because there was a lot of negative me at the time. And then somebody like Warren Buffett comes out and says, you know, this is the greatest buying opportunity I've ever seen. And slowly the media started to change their tune, and slowly buyers started to pick up on the fact that, wow. And so they took advantage, and just as quickly as it was there, it started to move away from us. And as a real estate agent, it's very frustrating for me when I get these great first-time buyers that call me, or even second or third-time buyers that call me, and I just don't have much to show them. I wish I did. So the window's closing in a number of ways. It's still going to be there as long as we have these interest rates. There's opportunity, like, you know, people are going to look back and really regret not buying, not just in 2010, but I think in 2013 as well. So get with your agent, get with your great lender, you know, get out there and don't give up, because there's still a window, but it's not going to be open for long.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned the most important part right there is don't give up. It's pretty common that most of our buyers right now are writing somewhere between 5 and 10 offers, some of them, if they're lucky, before they get an actual offer accepted. So sometimes that means they're maybe settling, maybe not getting the big backyard, or maybe not getting everything they wanted in a home right now because that window's closing. But what words of encouragement do you have for people that are out there, and just so that they don't give up?
Well, I think, you know, patience is a virtue in anything, all right? I mean, truly. And I think the frustration that buyers have is that they make an offer and they get declined. They make an offer and the cash buyer beats them out. They make an offer and they weren't quite high enough. But I've had people that were making their 5th, 6th, 7th offer come to one of my listings and get it. So it's just, you know, it's a function of a lack of inventory. And I just think that as long as you're persistent, if your agent that you're working with has a good relationship with the other agents in town and stays on top of it, you know, one of the suggestions I always give buyers, whether they're working with me or somebody else, is make sure your agent is calling on some of those properties that are in escrow, that have maybe been in escrow for a long time. Hey, is it solid? Is there a chance that maybe the buyer won't perform? Would you consider a backup offer? I've had a buyer of mine recently get a property. He made an offer on a bank-owned property. He was second choice, and first choice fell out. And we went in, made the same offer, secured the property. He closed escrow 2 weeks ago. He couldn't be happier. So I guess persistence pays off. I guess that's really the message.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And I love what Neal said at the State of the Union when he was speaking. He basically tells his buyers, and we're going to tell you, don't give up on me, I won't give up on you. And I know these buyers are ecstatic. I mean, despite the frustrations and the struggles and the disappointments going down the line, we have never, and I'm sure you can back this up, never seen a buyer get into that home unhappy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope so. We certainly are excited for them, and it makes our job rewarding when they're as excited as we are, and usually more so.
Well, when we come back, we're going to talk with Neal Weichel, #1 real estate agent right here in Santa Clarita, about strategies to help you succeed, and also about the supposed potential real estate bubble coming up when we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show.